giving you your Raw preview for October 5th, 2020. Hi, welcome to SCW here on YouTube.com. Please share the video, please like the video, subscribe. We're on the road to 600 subscribers, and let me know what you want to see tonight on Monday Night Raw. We've had a couple of things announced for the show already. It is the last Raw and the last WWE show as well on the main roster before the WWE Draft 2020, so that's really interesting as well. Looking forward to those shows on Friday. I've already got one video out saying which 10 superstars need to move shows on the Draft 2020. I'll be doing official predictions. That video will be dropping tomorrow on the channel, so make sure to keep an eye out for that as we go in towards Friday. I've got a few good indications of what superstars I think will be going and moving shows. I may not do every single superstar, but I'll do the ones that will be on different shows after the 2020 draft. But let's come into Raw anyway, and speaking of the draft, we had Kevin Owens, of course, a part of the Brand to Brand Invitational on SmackDown, went over there and did the KO show. He's now bringing the KO show back to Raw, back to his home, at least for one more week, and he did encounter The Fiend on SmackDown, where he's invited Bray Wyatt from SmackDown to Raw in the Brand for Brand Invitational. So it looks like we're building towards the match that they're going to have on SmackDown. Of course, we've got Kevin Owens versus The Fiend for that first draft show on Friday evening, so there's going to be some build towards that with the Bray Wyatt character instead of being in the Firefly Funhouse. Or will he be in the Funhouse? Will he come to the ringside? Will be very interesting to see how that is going to play out. I think this is simply being done for a test really on both The Fiend, if The Fiend will actually bring more ratings to Raw or Bray Wyatt in general, and if the ratings improve with Kevin Owens on SmackDown as well. I think it's also to see if there's any decline with those sort of superstars coming over as well. I think they're just trying to gauge with these people, because I think both of them could potentially move in the draft. We'll have to wait and see if they will or they won't. Will they be on the same show? Will we have a long-term rivalry kicking off starting from now? I mean, personally, I'm glad that the Kevin Owens and Aleister Black feud is finished. Even though both superstars are very talented, I just didn't feel like the rivalry was going anywhere. But certainly, it's very interesting. I'm excited for this segment on Raw, purely because I think obviously it's pure build for Friday SmackDown, but at the same time, I'm not quite sure where it's going to go, and I'm wondering as well what the inside stuff, what it could lead to. Does it have an impact on the draft? It certainly does interest me with that. And of course with Bray Wyatt, does that mean Alexa Bliss comes over to Raw this evening as well? That would be a nice surprise as well. It would be great to see her on Monday nights again. Of course, it's been a little while since she's been on Raw. Maybe she'll be on Raw as of next week. We'll have to wait and see when we get to the WWE draft. But elsewhere on the show as well, we have announced a 6-man tag team match. We've got Drew McIntyre going to be teaming with the Street Profits against Randy Orton, Robert Roode, of course the returning Robert Roode of last week, and Dolph Ziggler. Now, of course, this makes perfect sense. Robert Roode returned last week and answered the WWE Championship Open Challenge. He did, of course, lose that against Drew McIntyre, so it makes sense that Drew's got a program still going on with Randy Orton. Randy Orton took out all the legends again last week in a kind of hokey finish to Raw, I will say, but still, they need to find some way, I guess, for Randy to get his heat back over all those legends, so they found a way to do it. They had to be creative as well, because a few of them, well, Ric Flair in particular can't take the bumps. Christian really can't take the bumps either, so they had to find a way to do it. So I understand that they were trying to be creative within the realms of how they could actually make this storyline come together. But yeah, I think here, looking at this, we are building towards the final match with Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton at Hell in a Cell. I feel that feels like a safe bet. I will stick my neck out and say that this will start the build as well for Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler going for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Of course, the Street Profits need new challengers, and I think that they will gain that coming out of this week's Raw. Elsewhere as well, things to look out for. Of course, no retribution expected as well. Of course, they came into contact with someone from COVID, so they were off last week's show. They probably won't be on this week's show either. Maybe some sort of graphic, maybe something just to promote the group may happen. This may also impact Raw Underground, which wasn't on last week's Raw either. Potentially may not be on Raw this week either. Personally, not a big fan of Raw Underground. I think if you've watched my channel before, you know I'm not really a big fan of it. So for me, it's not a big miss, but of course, I do hope all the talent is okay. Elsewhere on the show, the Raw Tag Team division for the women's side does seem to be heating up. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke were put together as a tag team. Of course, we have other tandems as well on Raw with the Right Squad. We've got the champions, Baszler and Jax, when they return. Of course, we've got Natalya and Lana as well. So we're starting to get a tag team division on Raw, which is quite interesting. I'll be interested to see how that's going to play out. Will they continue on with Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke picking up more momentum this week? Bianca Belair is on a push as well. Of course, she's got those video packages every week. Of course, Pineapple Pete, if you watch AEW, of course, was part of one of those packages. Of course, he's now with WWE now, and he was actually part of the Run and Track one that was done last week for Bianca Belair. Now, of course, she's done the Strongest she's done the fastest. What's going to be this week? I'm interested in seeing. I'm enjoying her video packages that are building her up right now, and hopefully it's going to lead to a push, and hopefully after the draft, wherever she is, hopefully she's going to be, in for a good run. I want to see her more on TV. She's got a lot of talent and a lot that she can bring to the ring. Asuka as well, I'm assuming will be on Raw, and hopefully we'll start to get a bit of an idea what the challenger will be next for the Raw Women's Championship. Of course, that we've had Zelina Vega in a couple of matches up to now unsuccessfully. Will Zelina then move to SmackDown? We'll have to wait and see for that on Friday or next Monday. But I do hope we start building a program of some sorts. Maybe we're waiting for the draft to take place before we find that out. But certainly for me, I am interested of where that's going to lead to with that direction. Of course, as well, the Hurt Business probably will be in place as well. I imagine Keith Lee will be in the house. Be interested to see what they'll be doing also. But that's all that's been announced right now for Raw. That's your Raw preview. Hope you do enjoy it. Like I say, let me know what you want to see on Raw in the comments below. Check out my NXT TakeOver 31 review. That is up on the channel for you right now. NXT Halloween Havoc is coming as well later this month. I'm really excited to see that, and I've put a video on there for that as well. Like I say, the draft, it's all about the draft this week. The draft is going to be the big thing. It's going to be on the channel. If there are videos coming on, it will be to do with the draft. But of course, This Week in Wrestling, the weekly podcast that is done for this channel as well, and which is also on podcast platforms as well, like Spotify and all sorts. That will be actually dropping for you on Friday this week. So that will give you everything you need going into the draft Friday night also. But like I say, official draft predictions for me will be dropping on the channel tomorrow, so make sure to keep an eye out for that. Enjoy Raw tonight, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. This has been SCW here on YouTube. Have yourselves a great day.